We learned about some new things coming to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and let's start with something very interesting. Magnus Brun, the voice actor behind male Eivor, posted just now that he is once again in the voice booth, saying that he got a very special Assassin's Creed voiceover session. Okay. Usually these sessions are like 6-7 months in advance, looking at the Druids recording, which was finished in November, with the DLC of course launching in May, and Siege of Paris was done in February, and then the DLC launched in August. So high chance that this for some end of the year stuff, maybe the final content for Valhalla. I will of course keep you posted here when we know more, but in this video I want to look at things that are more imminent. Of course, if you like the Valhalla content here on the channel, then leaving a like on the video would really help me out. And let's go. Now real quick, they fixed the missing item in Reda's shop that did not show up during the weekly reset stream, and it's the mount from the Night Rogue pack. So you can get that now till the weekly timer is over if you want. It's the first time that the mount was for sale. I think it's pretty cool. It's 150 opal, and as you might know, you have one more week to get the opal from the Ostara Festival shop if you haven't already, which might help. Shout out to Vaish Gaming for posting the footage of Eivor with the Cassandra outfit from the crossover. Link to their channel, by the way, in the video description. I think it looks awesome and would of course be amazing if Ubisoft could add this. I have asked for another interview with Jose, and that would totally be a question if I'm able to talk to him again. And maybe Magnus is teasing another crossover event. I would be down for that, but that's of course not confirmed. Just like the Ezio Revelations outfit, although there's also a mod for that, but I'm sure that when and if it finally releases, it will look better and different. Wanted to quickly touch on it, but let's now look at leaked stuff that is almost certainly coming very soon. Like brand new skills, they do not seem to be as impactful as the ones we got from the updates before Dawn of Ragnarok, where you could for example get a ton of adrenaline back from using the special R1 or right button attacks with your bow, something I would normally not really use, but now there's a great incentive to do so. You could also absorb the first enemy hit when only using one-handed weapon, or if you would roll, you would ignore AoE attacks. So again, the two skills that got leaked are not that crazy, and Reloads highlighted them in his video. We'll of course leave a link to that in the video description, and they were namely found in the game files. One is called Hunter Flare, where whistling will now highlight and attract animals at a greater distance. Not sure if you ever used a whistle on an animal. I don't think that I ever did until this video. So it does work. So the animal will just go towards you, but since you cannot assassinate them or tame them, you will immediately get into combat anyways. And by the way, I really hope they bring back the animal taming in the next games. I thought it was always fun to, in Origins for example, have a hippo follow you around. So yeah, not sure why we would want the distance increase with this new Valhalla skill, but maybe I'm missing something. Let me know in the comments down below. The next one is Strange 2, Slide Focus. Aiming while sliding will heighten your senses, making others around you appear to move slower. So this is likely similar to how enemies appear when being spotted, or when you aim when jumping from high places. The only difference is that if you slide and aim now, you will just cancel the slide animation, while it would have been cooler if you could slide and aim at the same time. So yeah, I think with this skill you will likely slide more in combat, so that afterwards you have a short slow motion time window where you can more easily take out the enemies. I'm sure there will be more skills than the two that got leaked here, and of course when they appear the level cap will raise as well. And I could see it happen in the May update alongside the new weapons we can earn during the river raids, including the first free ad gear that right now is of course exclusive to Dawn of Ragnarok. So having extra skill points to earn alongside that could be a fun extra incentive. And speaking of more new weapons, on ArtStation of AllJ, and I hope I pronounced that right, we see multiple weapons created for Valhalla, including the recently released Vampire Pack. They're already out and never really talked about those because I think they look decent. The perks are just not really interesting and pretty bad. I do like the visual effect though that appears when you get the extra stat bonuses. We see some ad gear he designed, a lot of recent Helix items, shields, and also Kira her daggers as a weapon that we know should be available for us at some point. And we also see the cross that Fulke used in the second phase of that boss fight, a weapon I also still hope that we can get at some point, although I'm not sure which weapon category it would fall into. Either way, I think it would be awesome, and during the Dawn of Ragnarok, we also got quite a lot of weapons from enemies that we also see on this art station, and there's also one hammer that, like, I think some of the berserker type enemies are using. Would be cool to have that as Eivor as well. I mean, they already made the design, so why not? We are at least 100% sure that we're getting underwater weapons, first leaked in the files with their design, as also shared by Andy Reloads. And now we know it's called Rand's Underwater Pack, named after the Norse giantess that would live underwater and be behind drowning unfortunate seafarers. And as you saw maybe in my weekly Valhalla stream on Tuesday, we could buy the moon weapon from also a very recent pack at Reda. So a solid chance that these underwater weapons will appear at Reda soon. Overall, I think they look pretty awesome with the blue glow, but also when swinging these melee weapons, you see water splash and also hear an accompanied sound as we see in this Gamer Lil Games footage. It's something else. I think it's pretty cool. There's a sword, a spear, and a light bow in this pack, where with the light bow you have to shoot an enemy to also have the water splash appear. And also for the first time we get a helix sickle. So the perk on paper doesn't sound as cool as the one we find on the free sickle. We can of course earn during the Monster Challenges Part 2. But this perk from the Seahorse might actually be stronger. Because it says that hits with this weapon deal bonus damage. Which we know is likely better than having a set amount of increases for melee damage or simply attack. Because we also find something similar on the Tyrannus armor set, deal bonus damage when completely unarmed. And as you might know, this is still one of the most overpowered ways to play the game. And pro tip is, by the way, to go to the Valkyrie arena in Dawn of Ragnarok and apply the barehanded boast when having 2 or more of the Tyrannus pieces equipped. This makes you unable to use weapons, which you're not using anyways, because you have the amazing Thunder Blast. So if the water splashes from the weapons deal the same increased damage, then we're looking at some very good weapons here. I will of course test them and keep an eye out when they release. I think they're launching next week. And then again, let's hope that Reda sells one of these weapons at least in his shop very soon after. Another weapon that you want to keep an eye on is the Sword of Damocles. Sounds familiar? Well, that's because in Odyssey there was also a sword with a similar name, only written with a K instead of a C. And there are also totally similarities in terms of look. I actually like the Valhalla variant more, and the perk is even crazier too, as on a parry you drop these swords from the sky and create an area where you deal 20% more damage to the enemy, but they in return deal 20% more damage to you. Which is wild. So we'll also be going in depth on that weapon in the future. I think it drops in the Helix shop on May 24th as part of the Blessed Warrior set, but also more on that in the future when I can get my hands on it. So totally subscribe if you haven't already. A like on the video would really help me out. And real quick, if you're from the Benelux and make awesome in-game Assassin's Creed pictures like the one you see here, please reach out to the input@JorRaptor.com email address. There is namely a project Ubisoft the Netherlands is organizing that might be interesting for you. So again, if you're from the Netherlands, Belgium, make awesome in-game screenshots, let me know, input@JorRaptor.com. And Joyce, you of course selected awesome pictures that people send us via the Valhalla Raptor hashtag on Twitter, or by going to the dedicated pictures channel on the Discord. You can join the Discord, by the way, via the link in the pinned comment. Let's go over them.
Yes, so let's start with Amaya Nocturna over on our Discord, where Sunan the Dragon is taking advantage of the camera, posing for a selfie here, next to Eivor wearing the new Valkyrie armor set from the Mastery Challenges Part 2. If you didn't get that one, go get him. It's a very nice set. Next is Immortal, where Eivor snuck into the night and perfectly timed their strike on the enemy. They didn't see this one coming. I love the little piece of the torso here and the moon in the back of this shot. And my favorite of the three is from Nomad, who used the explosive retreat ability from Dawn of Ragnarok to create this epic action shot where it looks like Eivor suddenly got earth powers where they can use rock and debris to attack their enemies. Awesome shot.
Really, really cool, of course. Keep them coming, maybe we'll be in the next video. A like on the video would be awesome. Check out our video on a Assassin's Creed VR game, Nexus, which sounds very interesting. And for now, we will speak to you soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.